Well, good morning, friends. Thanks for putting up with a little noodling there. A little E minor something something into resolve into E major. How about that? Welcome to all the usual suspects. I'm so glad that you're here. Joe, my friend, Joe Ray, if you've seen him in the chat there, got a little blue wrench. Joe and I have been friends. Well, we've certainly known each other. It doesn't mean that we weren't friends, but we became fast friends later. But we met in, I want to say 1978. Is that right, Joe? Oh my God, it's been forever. Back, I think, when we barely even just had considered playing music. But later we formed a band and did fairly well for a minute. We thought we were going to do things to change the world, and I think the world changed around us. Welcome, Nemo J. Armstrong, Mike Sweeney, Loving the Light, Iron Realm Media, welcome, glad you're here. Hey, Winston. Hey, Sue Finelli, my friend. We get to meet in just a couple of weeks, a little less than 2 weeks now, be at Flattoberfest coming up in South Carolina. If you haven't gotten your tickets for that, please do. I'd love to make you some coffee. I have some delicious coffee right here this morning, and it is really good. So I hope you like it as well. Do I play the piano live for these streams? Yes, Natalie. In fact, what it is, I call it noodling, and it serves a couple of purposes. One is that it kind of gives people a chance to show up. It tells YouTube that I'm gone live, and so people get the notices. Gives them a chance to kind of come in and get comfortable. get their coffee, whatever. But it also, it's entirely extemporaneous. I don't write any of it out. Most of it I couldn't do again exactly the same way if I wanted to. Very rarely, in fact, I never listen to any of the streams afterwards. Just the content is what it is, and but sometimes recently I began listening back to a little bit of the noodling just to find out if there's anything in there I liked. But it is entirely extemporaneous, just improvised. And what it does is allows me to clear my mind and start kind of with tabula rasa, so that I don't bring anything outside into this. Especially useful on the Sunday streams. So you'll note that the Sunday streams are not at all monetized. I don't do anything that way. I think Sunday is sort of set aside for, well, again, if you've been here long enough, you already know this. If you're kind of new, so most people here, I think, initially became familiar with me from a couple of appearances on Crow 777's show, and then as a regular panelist on the Secrets of Saturn on Wednesday night with his co-host, Jason Lindgren. And I have sometimes different views from other people. And, sometimes we don't all agree on everything, which is great. I don't, I've said before, I not only reserve the right to be completely wrong, but I don't always even believe everything I think either. I just have thoughts. But we're certainly in what we call the truth community. I think that's a bit of a misnomer. We do the best we can to tear apart the lies and to get to the truth, but it's been so well occluded, and some of it even they've destroyed a bunch of the evidence. So it becomes difficult to tease out exactly what is for certain true. So at least, again, the best we can do, I think, is have good discernment and try to tell what is at least plausible from what is not possible. And there's a variety of evidences of that. But so I have a bit of a different take on, well, I'm not very religious, I'll say that. I was raised into a religious family. I even served in the church as a worship leader, worship pastor, tech director, teaching pastor, a variety of different things in the past. I have not darkened the door of a church building in more than a decade. Not that I have any hard feelings toward them. I just don't, that's not where I find my relationship with Dad. So Dad, if you're not familiar with that, that's just my name for the Creator, and I see them as a family. Got Mom, Dad, J-Bro. So I do trust generally the words written in Scripture. I think there's certainly some of it that's probably been changed over time, some that's been left out, but that doesn't bother me, because I think the entire thing is an invitation to come into a relationship with the Creator, and once you do that, the rest will make sense, and I trust Him implicitly and them to speak the truth. And so I don't have any problem saying, hey, don't rely on me. I have my own views on things, and I have certainly been wrong before, so I expect to be mistaken again. I wouldn't intentionally mislead anyone, but I can give you my experience and express the way that I've seen it in my, my journey. But I definitely recommend it. The most profound and amazing thing in my life has been the relationship that I've had with the Creator, and them changing me into being the person that they originally intended before all this other stuff happened. And there was a really watershed moment when they explained to me that the reason that this all hurts so much is because all I'm trying to do is strip away the parts of you that I did not make. And the reason it hurts is because, son, you don't want to let go. It's a difficult but eye-opening experience, and of course, he's right. He's always right. So I had to. Well, it's been a growing experience, but I definitely recommend, if you want to seek out truth. Right? I don't think you'll find it in Gnosis. There's nothing wrong with information. It all came from Dad to begin with. Of course, there's nothing wrong with information or wisdom, knowledge, but that itself won't help you really. The thing that will really change you is the Creator, the one who made you. And again, I don't put anything on anybody and say, hey, if you, again, I'm going to lead you to the promised land. I can't do that. All I can do is point you in the way that I think works, and that is trust Dad, talk to Dad. And if you learn to hear their voice, because it is sometimes difficult, it often comes in a still small whisper, And there are many competing voices, so you can't trust all of them. But when you learn to discern the voice, the right voice, from your own, from that of your enemy, and from that of others, I think you will be led into all truth. And I have discovered from my personal experience that the Dad is not only to be trusted, but is the very definition and source of all love. He made us this way. He made us to want and need love as much as we want and need oxygen. All good things come from our Creator. And I have had I had this conversation with a couple of people this last week. Probably you're aware of the recent, at least announced death of guitar player Edward Van Halen. And I don't have too many heroes anymore, but I certainly did have respect for the guy. I didn't get to meet him personally, but I know several people who were actually good friends with him. And all the stuff that I've seen, he seems a pretty down-to-earth guy. Certainly had his issues with drugs, alcohol, and all that sort of stuff. But a great innovator and an amazing guitar player. He certainly made growing up in the era that I did much more fun. But he wasn't that much older than me, just barely a decade older. And, fell prey to all the sort of same things I did for a period of time, all the lifestyle that goes along with that industry. And it's not a thought that hadn't occurred to me, but certainly as you begin to get older, you begin to lose more friends to that inevitable dark sleep. And you become aware that your time here is limited. It says in Psalms, teaches God to count our days and to understand that we are mortal and we have a limited time here. And you don't always know. You can't count even on the full measure. Some people go early. And but it occurred to me that with all the remarkable gifts, not just the gift of life, but the gift of being inquisitive and wanting to learn things and having an insatiable desire for knowledge and understanding and the ability to get it, right? There's very few things, in fact, I can't think of anything that I put my mind to that I really wanted to know that I couldn't understand and become good at. But to that end, beyond some, marginal material success, being in the industry that I have chosen, kind of feast or famine, I did well for a period of time. I also was had a lot of struggles for a period of time, even recently. So beyond that, what should I bring to my Creator at the end of my days when He asked what I did with the gifts He gave me? And I feel like I would come up short at this point in saying that I'd done something of really value to the world. I mean, for a period of time, I did think I was doing something really great in the 90s, working with another group of very talented people within this industry to give the power of digital recording to musicians directly without having to go through recording studios. And we thought we were doing something really good and really valuable. And we accomplished it. I'm sure the argument could be made that maybe that wasn't a great idea. Giving a guy a hammer doesn't make him an architect. But so I felt like I was doing something of value at that period of time. And then later it felt like I was less fulfilled and not really bringing the world something worthy of the gifts. And so now I kind of struggle with that, going, what legacy would I leave? Beyond having great kids, I have that, and grandchildren. But I don't get to spend as much time with them as I'd like because we live a long way apart. And so there's that. So I consider these things that it is, I feel, incumbent upon me to honor my Creator with giving something back. And so this is largely, at least at this point, spending the time with you and sharing this moment, this really remarkable moment in history, what appears to be that they have dropped all pretense of doing it secretly and just it's a mad dash to the finish. And we get to see it and be a part of it, and we'll see what happens. This is sort of, again, my gift to you, and hopefully people will find it of value and something that they will encourage and give them some resources and some encouragement on their journey. With that, let's begin here. It is Ancient Wisdom for a Modern World. This is, of course, Sunday morning, the 11th of October, 10/11/2020. Good morning. Welcome, Cammie. It's great to see you. I can't wait to meet you in just a couple of weeks. I'll make you some coffee, and we get to have fun playing with the toys. In the interim, we're going to go to, here is Proverbs. We'll start at 10, do 10 and 11 for certain, and then perhaps a bit more thereafter. So I'll do a couple of different versions this morning. I think I'll do, of course, the Messages one that I like for this sort of stuff. Whoops, I got the wrong thing there in the background. Let's choose instead this. All right, so we'll begin with the NIV, Proverbs chapter 9, if you would like to follow along. Put that up there for you. Wisdom has built her house. She's set up its 7 pillars. She's prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She's also set her table. She's sent out her servants. She calls out from the highest point of the city. She says, "Let all who are childish come to my house." She speaks to those who have no sense. She says, "Come and eat my food. Drink the wine I have mixed for you. Leave your childish ways, and you will live. Walk in the way of understanding." When you correct someone who makes fun of others, you might be laughed at. When you warn a sinner, you might get hurt. Don't warn those who make fun of others, or they'll hate you. But rather, warn those who are wise, and they will love you. Teach a wise person, and they'll become even wiser. Teach a person who does right, and they will learn even more. If you want to become wise, begin by having respect for God. To know the Holy One is to gain understanding. Through wisdom, you'll live a long time. Years will be added to your life. If you're wise, your wisdom will reward you. If you make fun of others, you alone will suffer. The woman called foolishness is wild. She's a childish fool, and she knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house, sitting at the highest point of the city, calling out to those who pass by. She calls out to those who go straight in their ways. She says, "Hey, let all who are childish come to my house." She speaks to those who have no sense. She says, "Stolen water is sweet, and food eaten in secret tastes really good." But they don't know that dead people are in there. They don't know that her guests are deep in the place of the dead. A wise son makes his father glad, but a foolish son brings sorrow to his mother. Riches that are gained by sinning aren't worth anything, but doing what is right saves you from death. The Lord gives to those who do right the food they need, but He lets those who do wrong go hungry. Hands that don't want to work will make you poor, but hands that work hard, they'll bring wealth to you. A child who gathers crops in summer is wise, but a child who sleeps at harvest time brings shame. Blessings are like crowns on the head of those who do right, but trouble caused by what sinners say destroys them. The names of those who do right are used in blessings, but the names of those who do wrong will rot. A wise heart accepts commands, but a foolish chattering will destroy you. Anyone who lives without blame walks safely, but anyone who takes a crooked path will get caught. An evil wink gets you into trouble, and foolish chattering destroys you. The mouths of those who do right pour out life like a fountain, but the mouths of sinners hide their evil plans. Hate stirs up fights, but love erases all sins by forgiving them. Wisdom is found on the lips of those who understand what is right, but those who have no sense get punished. Wise people store up knowledge, but the mouths of foolish people destroy them. The wealth of rich people is like a city that makes them feel safe, but having nothing destroys those who are poor. People who do what is right earn life, but sinners earn sin and death. Anyone who pays attention to correction shows the path to life, but those who refuse to be corrected lead others down the wrong path. Anyone who hides hatred with lying lips and spreads lies is foolish. Sin is not ended by using many words, but those who are wise control their tongue. The tongue of those who do right are like fine silver, but the hearts of those who do wrong, they're worthless. The words of those who do right benefit many people, but those who are foolish die because they have no sense. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and it comes without painful work. A foolish person finds pleasure in evil plans, but a person who has understanding takes delight in wisdom. What sinners are afraid of will catch up with them, but those who do right will get exactly what they want. When the storm is over, sinners are gone, but those who do right stand firm forever. Those who don't want to work hurt those who send them. They're like vinegar in your teeth or smoke in your eyes. Having respect for the Lord leads to a longer life, but the years of evil people will be cut short. Those who do right can expect joy, but the hopes of sinners are bound to fail. The way of the Lord is a safe place for those without blame, but that way destroys those who are evil. Those who do right will never be banned from the land, but those who do wrong cannot remain in it. The mouths of those who do right produce wisdom, but tongues that speak twisted word will be made silent. Those who do right always know the proper thing to say, but those who do wrong speak only twisted words. The Lord hates it when people use scales to cheat others, but He's delighted when people use honest weights. When pride comes, shame is sure to follow, but wisdom comes to those who are not proud. Those who do what is right are guided by their honest lives, but those who aren't faithful are destroyed by their own lies. Wealth isn't worth anything when God judges you, but doing what is right saves you from death. The ways of honest people are made straight because they do what is right, but those who do what is wrong are brought down by their own imagination. Godly people are saved by doing what is right, but those who are unfaithful are trapped by evil longings. Hopes placed in human beings will die with them. Everything in their power promised comes to nothing. Those who do right are saved from trouble, but trouble comes on those who do wrong. With their own words, ungodly people destroy their neighbors, but those who do what is right escape because of their knowledge. When those who do right succeed, everyone is glad. When those who do wrong die, people are happy. The blessing of an honest person builds up a city, but the words of sinners destroy it. Whoever makes fun of his neighbor has no sense, but the one who has understanding controls their own tongue. Those who talk about others will tell secrets, but those who can be trusted keep the secrets of others. Without guidance, a nation falls, but many good advisors can bring victory to the realm. Whoever promises to pay for what someone else owes will ultimately suffer. But a person who doesn't agree to pay the bills of someone else is safe. A woman who has a kind heart gains honor, but men who are not kind gain only money. Those who are kind benefit themselves, but mean people bring ruin on themselves. An evil person really earns nothing of value, but the one who plants what is right will certainly be rewarded. Surely right living leads to life, but whoever runs after evil finds death. The Lord hates those whose hearts are twisted, but he is pleased with those who live without blame. You can be sure that sinners will be punished, and you can also be sure that godly people will be rewarded. A beautiful woman who has no sense is like a gold ring in a pig's nose. What godly people long for ends only in what is good, but what sinners hope for ends only in God's anger. One person gives freely, but gets even richer. Another person doesn't give what they should, but gets even poorer. Those who are generous will be succeeded, and those who renew and build up others will be renewed. People ask for bad things to happen to those who store up grain for themselves, but people ask for God's blessing on those who are willing to sell. Anyone who looks for what is good will be blessed, but those bad things happen to a person who plans evil. Those who trust in their riches will fall, but those who do right will be as healthy as a green leaf. Those who bring ruin on their families will receive nothing but wind, and foolish people will serve wise people. The fruit that godly people bear is like a tree of life, and those who are wise save lives. Godly people get what they should get on earth, so ungodly people and sinners will certainly get what they should get. Take a look here at the from the Message. Some of the same portions from the Message, just puts it into a more modern context. Again, it's a paraphrase, so it does sometimes stray a bit from the original language, but still some of the ideas are well captured and elucidated quite well. Make hay when the sun shines, that's smart. Go fishing during harvest, not so smart. Blessings accrue on a good and honest life, but the mouth of the wicked is a dark cave of abuse. A good and honest life is a blessed memorial. A wicked life leaves nothing but a rotten stench. A wise heart takes orders, but an empty head comes unglued. Honesty lives confident and carefree, but those who are shifty are sure to be exposed. An evasive eye is a sign of trouble ahead, but an open face-to-face meeting can result in peace. The mouth of a good person is a deep, life-giving well, but the mouth of the wicked is a dark cave of abuse. Hatred starts fights, but love pulls a quilt over the bickering. You'll find wisdom on the lips of a person of insight, but the short-sighted needs a slap in the face. The wise accumulate knowledge, a true treasure, but know-it-alls, they talk too much. They're a waste. The wealth of the rich is their bastion. The poverty of the indigent is their ruin. The wages of a good person is an exuberant life, but a bad person ends up with nothing but sin. The road to life is a disciplined life. If you ignore correction, you're lost for good. Liars secretly hoard hatred, and fools openly spread slander. The more talk, the less truth. The wise measure their words. The speech of a good person is worth waiting for. The blabber of the wicked is worthless. The talk of a good person is rich fare for many, but chatterboxes die of an empty heart. God's blessing makes life rich. There's nothing we can do to improve on God. An empty head thinks mischief is fun, but a mindful person relishes wisdom. The nightmares of the wicked come true, but good people that get what they desire. When the storm is over, there's nothing left of the wicked. Good people, firm on their rock foundation, aren't even fazed. A lazy employee gives you nothing but trouble. It's vinegar in the mouth and smoke in your eyes. Having respect for God expands your life. A wicked life is a puny little worthless life. The aspirations of good people end in celebration, and the ambitions of bad people crash. God is a solid backing to a well-lived life, but He calls into question shabby performances. Good people last. They can't be moved. The wicked are here today and gone tomorrow. A good person's mouth is a clear fountain of wisdom. A foul mouth is a stagnant swamp. The speech of a good person clears the air, while the words of the wicked pollute it. God hates cheating in the marketplace, but He loves it when business is above board and honest. Stuck-up people fall flat on their faces, but down-to-earth people stand firm. The integrity of the honest keeps them on track. The deviousness of crooks brings them to ruin. A thick bankroll is of no help when life begins to fall apart, but a principled life can stand up to the worst. Good character is the best insurance. Crooks get trapped in their own sinful lust. When the wicked die, that's it. The story's over. It's the end of their hope. A good person is saved from trouble, but a bad person runs straight for it. The loose tongue of the godless spreads destruction, while the common sense of a godly person preserves them. Mean-spirited slander is heartless. Quiet discretion accompanies good sense. When you're kind to others, you help yourself. And when you're cruel to others, you hurt yourself. And these are excerpts from Proverbs 10 and 11 from the Message. This is why I find such amazing wisdom within these words. Whatever your position on the Creator or, again, religion, which I don't have much use for, or even Scripture, the Bible itself, there is, to me, a phenomenal amount of good wisdom here, and it's proven true in many ways. Like this idea that when you are kind to others, you help yourself, and when you're cruel to others, you hurt yourself. This is the basic premise of karma. And I don't think it's just karmic. We've talked about this many times on my other programs. The interconnectedness of all things. That there is an interleaving something, we could call it the ether, that connects everything. And ultimately, things are put together and held form. It says in the very beginning, the book of Genesis, it said God spoke things into being. He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The sound became form and material matter. So here you see cymatic patterns that grow into whatever shape they're made into be. And by your own voice, your own actions, your own thoughts, my email is unintended.consequences3@gmail.com. It's unintended.consequences3@gmail.com. That is an answer to Johnny in the chat. So I wanted to take a moment this morning. I know this is probably a little bit out there. But, I'm known for that, being a little bit out there. There is a scripture that says, the prayer of a righteous person avails much. And I wouldn't I wouldn't put myself in the category of a righteous person, but I do definitely have unashamed and deep love for the Creator, and a relationship that's been long and ongoing over a number of years. And largely, as I've said before, that the content of that relationship is primarily to make me a better person. It's not really, about condemning others or telling them what they ought to do, or here are the, here's the things, and that's really not how it's gone for me. I ask for wisdom, understanding, but often I want to help others, right? I want to, when I see people who are hurting, much like I see the love of the Creator, want to help them, and so do I, right? I want to help. Last couple of weeks, well, I guess I'll back up here. I have said on numerous occasions that when I petition Dad for others, when I pray for others, he often answers quickly and in power. And when I ask for myself, less so. And again, it's not because I think he doesn't like me. It really has, I think, to do with us, the intention being for us to be in relationship with others and to share these burdens with others and ask them in humility to pray for us. So that has been my experience. The last couple of weeks, there are people even in the chat right now who have faced circumstances, and my heart went out to them. So I asked on their behalf, and it seems their report is good. They've had positive results. I hate to use the word miracles because people have their own idea what that is, but some of them are pretty profound and amazing. So I wanted to take a moment this morning, and if you have something specific that you would want me to ask for and about, I am happy to do that for you. I would much like to not only reach out and help you, but also give you courage and encouragement. And again, I hesitate to use the word faith, but to help you believe that Dad is caring about you and interested in you. So if you again have something that you would like considered, let me know. You can do so via email. You can do so even in the chat right now. If you want, I could probably even open up the phone lines for a minute if you're interested in that. But just let me know in the chat. I have a few minutes here still remaining. So if you... Winston says, I pray to realize the highest possible outcome. I love that. And again, the way that I often ask, again, is for wisdom and understanding. It was very early on in my walk that I came to the understanding that I should not ask for the burden to be lifted, but rather the strength to bear it. Because if I only ever had the burden lifted, I would never have the strength to bear anymore. Z. Rocha says, excited at the coming release of the Miracles, Chosen Generation, so pray for the harvest. Absolutely. I do frequently ask that people's eyes be open to the truth. I don't think I can do much more than that. To ask to be in the right place at the right time, to have the right words to speak, to be a resource for people. So, if you got if you've got something that you have need, let me know, and I would love to add you to the list. And hopefully we'll see a good result. It has yet to have a bad outcome. I'll put it this way. Jay Armstrong says, I've been gifted with miracles recently, or the ability to receive the said gifts. I love that. Yes. Yes. How do you deal with a partner who doesn't have the same passion for truth? That's a great question, Logan. I think many people in this community have at least someone in their life that's important to them, they care about, and they're in a relationship with, whether it's their significant other or someone in their family or a close friend who either doesn't have the passion or really is opposed to it. And again, one of the things I can say is that it is neither our responsibility nor within our purview to change the hearts of others. We cannot do it. And if you have expectations of that, then I think you're setting both of you up for certainly disappointment, if not resentment. If you want the other person to change and they don't, then you become bitter and resentful that they did not, and they of you because you wanted them to be something other than what they are. So I think that, again, the best thing I could advise there is to ask that you have compassion and a better understanding of that person, and that you treat them in a way that fulfills their needs. That to me has the best opportunity for success, is that even if they don't change, your heart for them is better. See, praying doesn't always change the circumstances, but it does change you. And if you can actually get a better understanding and compassion for the other person, even if they don't change, you will already have more compassion for them. However, if by your compassion it changes their heart, then it's a win-win. Ryan asked for health, infection in the jaw from a tooth. Oh man, those are the worst. Oh my gosh, I've got some dental issues as well, really bad, and the dental pain is some of the worst. It's just intractable. So, Ryan, absolutely. So I can say I'm not a big fan of allopathic medicine, but if you can get to a dentist, check that out. But right up front, just to say, hey, Dad, take care of Ryan, and specifically help those teeth. Yeah, and just as I pause for a moment and just consider that. Just asking Dad. Also, first thing, get yourself some warm water, not too hot, but just some warm water with some salt in it, ideally sea salt, and just swish that around. I think you'll find some relief there. That's just a little nudge that I got. So hopefully that will help you out. So it is for. I think it is for this purpose that you're here. And again, if you are reticent to put it in the chat, then yeah, just send me an email. Again, it's unintended.consequences3@gmail.com. But I'm again happy to put you on the list. I'd love to hear the results, and even if it is just. Also, as Ryan said, just for more closeness with the Creator, or if you kind of want to feel that presence, happy to do that. I think everyone could better use a little more time with Dad to absorb that amazing love. Is just remarkable. Sue, I will absolutely love to. You often find your way there anyway. And I can't wait to give you a big old hug, and see you just in a couple of weeks. So so delighted. But yes, and if you have something specific, just message me, Sue, and we'll add that so you can see the results. Right. This one thing that I would love to see is very specific results. Right, of what you're asking for, so that you have encouragement. And it will help you see how good Dad is. Again, I cannot reiterate enough that that is probably one of the most shocking things to me about this relationship. And once I got away from religion and into the relationship, I had very wrong ideas about the nature of who Dad was and the Creator. And it turns out the very definition of love, always, only, ever. If I've said before, if love is not the motive, God is not involved. And that was a remarkable, shocking thing for me, was to realize that the nature of the person that I was dealing with. I mean, it's been my experience, of course, that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And so you expect that the most powerful thing in existence would be kind of an asshole. As it turns out, exactly the opposite. It is just, it's just remarkable. Yes, Winston, and I'll say that over and over again, right? There's a text in Scripture that says, "Be still and know that I am God." And I find that is often the best way to listen closely for that still small voice of Dad speaking to your heart. And I love to put it this way: be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Just be. You are a human being, not a human doing. I had this conversation yesterday with a person that I met from the truth community. We had not met before. We got a chance to meet up for a few minutes. And I expressed this idea in my relationship to Dad and what occurred as a result of that. You see, I often had this idea that somehow I needed to hone and develop these gifts that he'd given, and to try to find just the right thing to do. And what it turned out over time was that the message became very clear, that it wasn't nearly as much, in fact, very little, about what I did. What was important was that I become the person I was intended to be, because then no matter what I did, it was right. And if not, then nothing I did would work anyway. It was entirely about becoming the person. So I would strongly encourage for you to take a moment to be still, to be comforted by the love that surrounds you and Dad, to know that all things are within His hands, and if you trust Him, even if it seems very uncomfortable and very scary, that He is not a disinterested creator that spoke something into existence 14.7 billion years ago and then walked away to just let it work itself out. That is very much not my experience at all. He's very involved, very interested in you. And I have said before that as we look around us, especially in the truth community, and we see the nature of the battle that goes around us, we know that it is a spiritual battle. It is not just about right and wrong. It is a spiritual battle. And really, the ultimate prize is not for power and control in this world, but it's for your soul. It is for your heart and your mind. The battle is for you. You are the prize. And so what you choose and what you do and what you think and what you speak are the most important things in the universe. Consider that as you go throughout your week this week. That you are powerful. You are potent. All the lies they tell are for the specific purpose of making you feel insignificant and powerless. And as it turns out, it's quite the opposite. You are so powerful that they fear you, which is why they feel the need to lie to you. But that power pointed in the wrong direction only serves their purpose. So if you can put yourself into alignment with the Creator, then you have all the power in the universe at your command. And yet, what you find out is that when you seek after wisdom, you find that the source of the wisdom has so much more than you can even imagine, that the most wise thing you can do is defer to the wisdom of the Creator. And then everything is okay. You know for sure everything is going to be all right. So that is my encouragement for today. Be still and know you are loved. You are not only not insignificant, but you are the very goal of both the enemy and your champion. And that what you think and what you do and what you purpose in your heart is really the ultimate meaning of everything. each of you, and we are all connected. I'm so delighted that you were able to join this morning, and I hope this is an encouragement for you. Again, if you have something specific you want me to ask for, you can simply send me an email, unintended.consequences3@gmail.com, and I sincerely will put that up for consideration for Dad. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting one another. I love to see the beautiful interaction in chat and how the love and support that you have for one another. This is exactly what I'm interested in seeing. I'll be back this evening at 5 p.m. Pacific, UTC-7, for episode 10, Sola Scriptura with Wayne McCroy. I don't think we have yet decided exactly on the topic. We'll figure it out when we get there, I'm sure. But no doubt it will be whatever Dad has in mind. So we can count on that for sure. Again, I'm so delighted that you were able to be here with this morning, and everybody, thank you, so much. Again, if there's any questions you have or whatever, feel free again to send them to unintended.consequences3@gmail.com. If you feel compelled to do so, of course, there's a PayPal link. Again, I don't really ask for money, but some people ask if they can support, and that's one way you could do it, is to go paypal.me/greatbaldini. Usually you can find the links to that on my page as well. So let's see, I'll find some outro music for you today. Let's see, I usually try to find something the Wayback Machine from when Joe Ray and I were doing stuff together. I'm going to do, this is a weird one. This is a bit like opening up my diaries. It was a very weird that I wrote it. Joe Ray, who's in the chat, wrote the music. I dropped the lyrics and the vocals down in, I think, 45 minutes in Jim's apartment in Arlington, Texas, about 1994, 95, something like that. And it is, as it says, this is called Q&A. Bit pitchy, but I think you'll get the idea. Hope you have a great day. Questions you ask, are you still my friend? You should know after all that has passed, I am here to the end. And yes, it makes me feel like a fool, knowing I haven't come through for you. No, it's not the same when you call out my name. It means to speak the words that you've given me, to tell of my dreams. And yes, I think that I'll be okay once I let go and you have your way. And no, I'm not I just don't know what to say. almost home by now, but you're here in my heart. And yes, it makes me feel like a fool, knowing I haven't come through for you. And no, it's not